Welcome to Something Crunchy. Tyler is homies with Blake. Blake is the older bro of Blair. Blair is married to Tyler, and is a slutty slut.
Welcome to Something Crunchy.
What the hell is crunchy?
Welcome to Something Crunchy.
All right, back in the studio with T-Storm and High Humidity. Let's put them up. How are we feeling tonight?
If I was any more aloof, I'd be wasting the goo.
It is not only the end of the year, it is the end of the decade.
Yes,
We made it.
The end of 2019.
Let's talk about it. Is 2020 really coming?
Yeah.
How weird is
Like
it
a
that
week.
it's 2020?
We're not flying in cars still.
No, not yet.
No.
Talk about disappointment.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. I thought we would be there in spades by now.
Well, I want to get into best of the year. I want to get into best of the decade.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Different categories.
Yes.
I don't know. What do you think? Do we like build up to movies and shows, or do we just start?
We just
We
start
knock it
gotta
off?
start.
Yeah.
We
Start
just
with
off.
movies and shows.
Yes.
Okay. We enlisted some help. Couldn't do this alone, and we've done this in parts. We talk a lot about
Yes.
movies and shows. We had the Crunchiest, which is kind of like the the halfway through the year point almost.
All right.
We enlisted the help of one of Something Crunchy's #1 fans and a huge part of Crunch Nation, Jason Poniger. Thank you for your
Yes,
help
thank you, Jason.
and submitting your list for top 5 and 10 movies of the year and decade.
Yes.
I don't know yet if we're going to fist your list,
Yeah,
Jason. I hope that
I'm excited to hear it.
I have high
It's a
expectations.
great looking list right here.
I have some stuff on my own. I say we get into it. We start with Jason's stuff here.
We'll start with Jason's top 10 movies of the year, 2019.
I like it.
Number 1, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
We're off to a bad start,
Yeah.
Jason.
It has to be on the list.
I feel like I'm in the minority saying
best
that.
movie?
Like I've learned it.
No.
I'm in the
It's the top
minority.
movie of the year.
Others feel more like
a
Jason
huge
about
movie.
this, but I don't. I thought it was one of the biggest disappointments of the year. You know?
Mortal Kombat is a very good game.
Donkey Kong.
We're off to a rough start. I'm excited to
Okay.
keep going.
Number 2, Joker.
All right.
Now you're
Great.
talking.
All right.
Great.
Now we're getting into
I mean
like,
that's an easy
Deserves to be on the
low
list.
hanging fruit.
Yeah.
But it's the right call.
These movies of the year.
Movies of the year.
Number 3, Dragged Across Concrete.
Okay. Dragged across 3 hours, but was
didn't
it was
see it.
it was a good movie.
It was long.
I kept trying to get into it and watch it and finish it. I couldn't do it. I mean, Mel Gibson, Vince Vaughn, they're cops and partners, and
Couldn't do it?
it was all right. It was pretty good. It's
a commitment.
It's a commitment. I tried to finish it, and I don't even know if I had.
You'll like these. Number 4, John Wick 3.
Did see that. and I
That was
loved
good.
it.
That was good.
They were all
okay.
good,
Yeah.
and I did like the third one.
That's definitely worthy.
Blake, I know you like this. Number 5, The Irishman.
Excellent choice.
Has to
Excellent
be on the
choice.
list.
Has to be on the list. Those are
Another
great.
3-hour.
3.5.
Another long one.
3.5.
Can't forget that extra.
Yeah.
Number 6, The Peanut Butter Falcon.
Good call.
Looks amazing.
Good call.
Can't wait to see it.
Can't
Another one that
wait.
haven't
Really
had
good.
time. Man, we only have time for 30 minute,
Integrals
at a
and
time.
parts,
Yeah,
right.
so the shows work out better for our fam, but definitely need to get into some of these.
Number 7, Ready or Not.
Okay.
Number 8, Shazam.
Good call.
Yeah.
I liked
It
Shazam.
was great.
sleeper.
So
Yeah.
entertaining.
That was better than I thought it was going
Yeah,
to be.
exactly. Going into that, I was like, all right, I got no expectations for this movie, and I walked out of there going, wow, that
Pleasantly
was
surprised.
really
Yeah,
good. Wow, that was a good movie.
It was pretty good.
Tell your friends.
Number 9, The Highwayman.
That was a good movie. That was a good
Definitely
movie.
should be on
Good
the
cast.
list.
Well done.
Great cast.
Yep.
And number 10, Cold Pursuit.
Also surprisingly good. I thought that was going to be just like another Liam Neeson movie, like another Taken, and that was
classic Neeson.
Yeah, that was entertaining and violent, and no, that was definitely that was a good movie.
It's a good list.
It's a good
very
list.
crunchy list.
Yeah, that was nice.
I have mixed
Who else?
I have mixed feelings like about the list. Like there's ones that like I definitely agree should be on there. Like there's it compares to some of mine. Like I made a list.
Sure.
You want to hear kind of what I
Of
went
course,
with?
What's on
yeah.
yours?
I broke it down in terms of like comedy and not comedy, just those two categories. Start with comedy.
Sure.
Like looking down of all the movies that came out this year, the ones that like got the most laughs out of me, or the ones I enjoyed the most, I'd say were Fighting with My Family.
Loved it.
Yeah, that
That was
really
good.
funny.
So good.
Surprisingly, really good. Booksmart.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So
Love that.
funny.
Like
Super
Super
funny,
Bad Part
right?
2.
I
It
could
was.
watch that 100 times.
Good Boys.
That was
Good Boy
hilarious.
is so
Really
funny.
funny.
I've seen it 10 times already.
Hilarious.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah.
Jexy. Jexy was
Jexy.
really
I
funny.
haven't seen that
Adam
yet.
Devine with the
Excited.
phone.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
was.
uh-huh.
Yeah, for every like 3 or 4 parts that were hilarious. There's like 1 or 2 stupid parts, but it was like overall, I laughed a lot throughout it. It was really, really
You got
funny.
laughs.
Really funny. And I also put a Zombieland Double Tap on there. Like I loved the first one. The second
Yeah.
one's more of the same. Like there was some stupid parts, but there were some really funny parts
love
too.
the first
I enjoyed
one.
it.
I can't
enjoyed
wait
it a
to see
lot.
the second one.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
So that's what I went with for comedy. For the not comedy category, I went with Joker. That
Yes.
was on my list for sure. Brightburn. That was really good.
Brightburn, yeah.
Good call. Captive State. Hotel Mumbai. And The Irishman.
Yeah.
So we shared a couple
ones.
of the same. You know, I put a couple on here that kind of like honorable mention. I just saw Bombshell. That was really good.
Yeah.
You know, really good cast. I enjoyed that. Alita, Battle Angel. I thought that was really cool. I put Shazam definitely down. Needed to be talked about. Spider-Man: Far From Home. I thought that was the best
yeah.
Marvel movie of the year. I thought that was better than the Avengers. I thought that was better than Dark Phoenix. I thought
Definitely
that was
good
really well
one.
done. Yesterday, I thought that was really good.
Definitely
I
made my
enjoyed that.
list.
Yeah,
That was a cool
I like
story.
that.
Of course.
Brian Banks. We talked about that. I like that one a lot.
Yes.
The Current War was good. I also put the Peanut Butter Falcon, and I liked it. Chapter 2. I know that it was
Just for, like,
heavy
nostalgic
CGI,
purposes.
but I enjoyed it.
Just to bring back the excitement of it
yeah,
again.
it was a good movie. And then I put together just like a short list of just the ones that I was really disappointed by. The first one, and I'm going to get a lot of guff for this, was Us.
You didn't like
Jordan-
it?
Everyone loved that movie, said it was so scary, said it was like hard to understand, but if you can get it, it's so good. And even people right after
you
they
get
saw
it?
it, I got it. It was so easy to get. It was
no, I get it.
It was not hard to get.
just don't
yeah,
like it.
Yeah, it just wasn't that good. It wasn't that scary. It
I'm
was
still gonna see
easy
it.
to get. It was like
I need to make my own.
not a complicated. It was all right. I didn't think it was that great. Get Out was good. I thought that was a really good movie.
Get Out was good.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Us, I was
like
so
that.
excited about. The hype was huge, and I was just like, really? Like, I don't know. I didn't love it. Captain Marvel, I thought that was a huge letdown. The Kitchen, super disappointment. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, you know how I feel about
You're a
that.
tough
Yeah.
critic.
And Rocket Man, like they did not sell that as the musical that it was.
Yeah.
Definitely musical.
Yeah, that I don't care
It
for.
was good.
I don't care for songs.
But
and
very,
dance.
yeah. It's just not your flavor. Exactly.
Love music, love movies, and love music
And
in
you
movies.
love Elton John.
I just don't like people breaking out into song and dance. Something about it just doesn't sit right with me.
I enjoyed it.
You-
There was
I
some
mean-
other good movies of the year that I liked. It's definitely some more that I still need to see. But there was Glass.
Glass was good.
I thought Glass was
I was in-
great.
I was into Glass.
like, wow.
That was a good one.
But you've already went through like
That
most
was
of the
the
big
third
ones.
installment of the
Second
M. Night
one.
Shyamalan.
I thought that was just a
Yes.
sequel to
Yes.
There was
Unbroken.
Unbroken, and then there was another one too. Split.
and they
Yes.
are connected. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yes.
That's right. That
and
makes
they're
sense.
all so good.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
right.
A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. I
I had-
haven't seen it yet, but you
I'm
know
glad
it's
you
like
mentioned that.
a movie
I'm
of
glad
the
you
year
mentioned that because the year technically isn't over. There are some
Right.
things that just came out. Like I still wanted to see Richard Jewell and still want to see A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood.
Yes.
Both of those.
You know
have,
that they're
you
just
know,
gonna be, like,
They could be.
classic. I'm
one of the
hoping.
movies of the year for sure.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that.
Lion King.
Lion King.
Lion
that was
King
good.
came back. Like that was
well
huge.
done. That was probably one
with
of the-
that cast.
Yeah.
I mean, it was pretty big.
That was one of the better of the live action remakes.
I even put in El Camino, a Breaking Bad movie.
Yeah,
That was
it's
good. I
Straight to
enjoyed that.
Netflix, but it was
Yeah.
For a
great.
Breaking Bad movie to
enjoyed
come
that.
out, like that was
Yeah.
exciting for a lot of Breaking Bad fans.
Yeah,
I
No,
feel.
just
I'm
to
glad
get a
you put
little,
that.
a
That
little
was a good
taste of the
call.
bad back.
Right?
But yeah, and Hustlers. I mean,
No, that was. I like the storyline of Hustlers a
I
lot.
liked that
was
for
good.
the year. I mean, that was fun.
No, that was cool.
If we're going off what movie have I seen the most this year, that's a hands down easy winner for Disney's Zombies. I mean, that's the
Should be
only
on the
movie.
list.
I watch that
Your
movie
daughter
every day.
watches it 10 times a day.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean,
She would. She just wanted to mention that should be on.
Yeah,
the
honorable
For
mention,
sure.
Disney's
In honor of our
Zombies.
Yeah.
3-year-old. Thank you, zombies.
excited for the
Well
sequel
done.
coming out.
See?
Don't sleep on the sequel.
Don't
Uncle
sleep
Blake
on
already
the
knows what's
Zombies
going
2, Back to School.
Let's move on to the decade.
Okay.
I'm eager to hear. Jason provided a list for the decade, didn't
another. Oh, we're gonna love this.
he? Okay.
Okay. So
High expectations, Jason.
top movies of the decade. Number 1, Whiplash.
No. Okay.
Awesome.
So
Starting off right.
good.
For the final father fucking time. I don't know how many times a day I think that in my head. I never say it out loud, but I'm always just
J.K.
like,
Simmons.
JK is so good. Miles Teller was great.
That was one of the best
Oh my God.
performances, like
So
especially
glad
like
Jason
angry
put that on the
performances.
list.
Like
Yeah.
Agree.
that left me awestruck.
Right.
Like
Just
man,
how
Oh,
they
yeah,
treated those
watching it was
kids.
to say I love that movie.
We need to watch it
Sugar-coated
10 more
understatement.
times.
Of course, that is. I mean, if not, it may not even just be top 10. That may be the movie of the decade. Let's
For
keep
sure.
going.
I know. It's a good
What's he
list.
got at number 2?
Number 2, Hell or High Water.
Oh man,
Yeah.
Jason,
Great
killing it.
list. I know.
Strong.
Number 3, La La Land.
Okay.
Look, I know
Terrible.
you don't love. No,
Just terrible.
I know you don't
I
love.
hate that he
the
put it
song
on
and
there.
Not even on
dance,
my list.
but it was so well done. It was a lot of people really, really loved
I'm
it.
just gonna bite my tongue. I'm gonna bite my tongue about it.
I know what you want to say.
If you have nothing nice to say, you know, like
You're not a musical person.
Here's how I
You have to
stand.
really win you over
on
in
musicals.
that category.
I love a live musical. I love on stage in front of audience because
Yeah.
it
And
shows
they kind
real
of try
talent.
to make it feel that way.
you're
But if
Y'all
you
weren't feeling it.
if you're doing it on screen and you can take 300 takes to get it right, and that's how you put your movie out, that's not impressive anymore. It's just
well, and
it
use
won,
actors for
like,
acting
so
and
many
use singers and
awards.
dancers for singing and dancing. Like you can't like just grab like whoever's hot, like the hot actor and actress, and like all right, now sing and dance, have
Yeah.
chemistry, and make a movie while doing it. It just the idea was good, the songs were okay. You
have higher
it
expectations.
It wasn't
Yeah.
for me. It wasn't for me.
Okay.
if it was
Well,
live on Broadway, it might be totally different, but just didn't hit on screen.
Like I did enjoy about La La Land
Tough
when they got embarrassed
critics.
at the Oscars going up to accept it, and then they were like, "No, I'm sorry, it's Moonlight." Like I did enjoy that. That was
my
fun.
God. Everybody, God, we should have gone through like flubs of the decade because wasn't there?
That was a
Steve
flubby flub.
Harvey?
Yeah, Steve
Yeah.
Harvey had a
Ooh.
flubby flub.
Yeah.
There was some good
Announced
ones.
the wrong winner. Ooh, I'm sorry.
Oh, Flub Harvey.
Sorry. I'm so sorry.
Number 4, Sicario.
Good call. I liked that
Great
one
on
and the
list.
sequel.
Number 5, Edge of Tomorrow.
Okay, I like that. Tom Cruise. That was good. Where he keeps dying and has to like come back.
Oh,
and
yeah, uh-huh.
That was
Okay.
really cool. That was
Uh-huh.
cool.
Number 6, Silver Linings Playbook.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty
Loved
cool.
it.
Awesome. Yeah, that was a good story.
Awesome.
Number 7, Brooklyn.
Okay, that's a good movie. I don't know about movie of the decade, but that's definitely a
I haven't
good
seen
movie.
Brooklyn yet, but I am excited to, and I know a lot of people like that movie.
Yeah.
Number 8, The Nice Guys.
Yeah, a lot of people like the Nice Guys.
It was a great movie.
I enjoyed
it
the
was
Nice Guys.
entertaining.
I enjoyed it. I did.
Easy to watch.
Easy to
actually.
watch.
Number 9, Everybody Wants Some.
Okay.
Definitely another one I need to see immediately.
Is that the Wyatt Russell baseball?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just
yeah.
even looking
I
at it,
haven't
just looks
seen
like
it, but
right
I know.
up our Texas,
Yeah.
1980. It was like, oh my God. Number 10, The Social Network.
Social Net. Okay.
Oh, definitely agree.
See, so
should
we-
be on the list.
We actually had a pretty similar list.
Yeah.
Like again, I broke mine down into
Jason,
comedy.
well done.
Very well done. I want to start with my like honorable mentions, like awesome, memorable movies of the
Okay.
decade. What I think we'll look back on and think of. First ones I thought of was Warrior.
On my list.
Loved warrior.
I
Tom
never
Hardy.
thought that
Yeah.
was a movie
Yeah.
that I would have gotten into, and I
Yeah.
was just like glued the whole
It was
time.
just an awesome movie on
Yeah,
every
very
level.
well
That
done.
was like something
Love
else.
both
Blew
of
me
them.
away.
Yeah.
Ex Machina. I thought that was
So
awesome.
good. On my
Loved
list.
Ex Machina. Hidden Figures. I
On
thought
the
that was
list.
just a very well-rounded,
Of course.
awesome movie. Baby Driver. A Quiet Place.
Oh, good. Yes, loved it.
Social Network definitely needs a shout out.
Yes.
I thought Wonder Woman was really cool.
So good. Oh my God, Gal Gadot.
Drive.
Please, amazing.
Interstellar, that was Christopher Nolan just blew my top open with that.
Yeah,
like
that was really
I
cool.
had to watch that like 6 or 7 times before I actually started understanding like the movie, the plot, like what happens.
Space-time
like before I
continuum.
got
There's
it.
a lot to
Like
it.
it is deep and twisted and complex
See,
and
I love that. I love when
like,
you need to like. I can't wait to watch it 30 more times to
but,
fully
but when you
understand
do
all of it.
and
but
like
that's
you're
so
like man
exciting.
like yeah, it's a really cool movie. Inception, obviously very memorable,
Inception.
start of the decade.
That blew our mind the
Yeah.
first time we were
Get Out.
I remember
that was
Mom.
huge. Yeah.
You try and bring your mom
Who's
to
that?
see Inception.
Wait,
She's
wait.
just staring at the side of your face.
Are they
Did you
dreaming?
get this?
How
What?
many what
Do
level
you
of
get
dream?
this?
This is their third dream in a row, right?
I know you'll agree with me. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
One of my favorites.
Tyler
That
like
was-
loved it, and
That was
so did
awesome.
I.
Yeah.
Just surprisingly awesome.
It
That
was
really
great.
cool.
The music was good. It was
Really
put
cool.
together well. I loved
Animation was
Yeah.
like
So
super
entertaining.
believable.
That's not my only animated one. I also put Coco on the list. I thought
Loved
Coco was. I thought that
Coco.
was probably like
Great
animated
music.
Pixar movie of the decade.
it. That's gonna be one to
For
last
sure.
like forever too.
The Accountant with Ben Affleck. I thought that was just fucking
Anna
awesome.
Kendrick.
Yes, I loved
yes,
that movie.
they were great.
God, that was cool. The Big Sick. I thought that
Definitely
was
on my
great.
list.
Kicks, Sicario, The Dark Knight Rises. That was the last one that came out in
Yes.
2012. Blockers. Great.
That was
So
really
funny.
good.
Oh my God,
John
it's so
Cena was
funny.
really good. in
Yeah.
that.
I didn't even know if I was gonna like John Cena in this because
Oh, he was great.
Yeah, he was
usually it's
really
just like
funny.
cheeseball central to me.
He
But
was so great.
I loved
I like
it.
John Cena.
no, he's
normally
growing.
funny.
I used to say the same thing about Dwayne Johnson. He would like do the eyebrow, and I'm like, ugh. Okay, do anything else. And then all of a sudden
like
he's
the
like
eyebrow.
becomes
I
like the best, like most exciting entertainer ever.
What's your name, ma'am?
I've always been a little sucker
Doesn't
for
matter
them.
what your name is.
Crazy Rich Asians. I thought that
So
was really
good.
funny.
Loved
Very
it.
original.
Laughed.
21 and 22 Jump Street. I thought were both good.
Yes.
Ted 1 and 2.
Different. It
Yeah,
was
different. Chef. And then also
Yes.
Captain
Love Jon
Fantastic,
Favreau.
Viggo Mortensen. I feel like that's something like any parent would like absolutely love. That was
Yes.
really, really cool. Very different. Awesome movie. Let's get into the top 10. Those were just the like honorable mention.
Yeah.
I broke it down comedy, not comedy again. Comedy, first one I thought of, most people's list would have Bridesmaids. I mean, that was probably,
course,
I mean,
yeah.
one of the comedies of the decade, for
Absolutely.
sure, for sure.
All those ladies, like
Yeah.
obsessed with all of them.
The Wolf of Wall Street, put that
So
on
good.
there.
Yeah,
God, I
I can
love
watch that
movie.
every single time it's on.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's
I'll
hard
watch
not
that
to watch it
every
when it's
time it's
on.
on. Deadpool, thought that was
That was
Really
so
funny.
funny.
hilarious, very well
so
done.
well done.
Like that,
Love
that
an
was
R-rated
Impressed.
superhero movie, you know?
And that wasn't the only
Ryan
one.
Reynolds is so great.
Kick-Ass, that came out in
Oh my
2010.
God,
I thought
loved
that
it.
was so different.
Yeah.
Like I just didn't know what to think when that came
Chloe
out, and I
Grace
saw that and I was
Moretz,
like,
like,
that. I thought that was
Was
awesome.
awesome to see
thought
this
that was
little
great.
girl just like kicking ass. Like everyone was like,
Right?
minds were blown.
I couldn't make up my mind for like a fifth spot, so I kind of have like a three-way tie between like Trainwreck, Blockers, and Booksmart. It would probably be like one of those three.
Yeah.
Whichever I was watching at the time, I'd
I
probably
think
put it in
of
there.
those three, Booksmart
I was
wins it
gonna
for
say,
me.
Yeah,
I love
I would lean
Booksmart.
towards Booksmart as well. For not comedy, this is going to sound a lot like Jason's. First one on my list was Hell or High Water.
Yeah.
Just awesome. Chris Pine, Ben Foster, that was so cool.
Love Ben
Such a good
Foster.
actor,
Yeah,
Ben Foster.
yeah. Mad Max Fury Road. That's one of the most fun
Put
movies I've
together
ever seen
so
in the
well.
theater. That was just so cool.
Such a theater movie.
Such a theater movie. Nightcrawler. That's
Oh my
one,
god.
one of my favorite
That was
movies.
one that took me so
Like,
long to watch
God,
because
I
I'm like
love that.
Nightcrawler. That doesn't sound
Jake
like my thing at
Gyllenhaal.
all.
Yeah, I
and
was
I was
like, I don't
like,
know about
oh my
this.
god, this is so
Totally
good.
changed my mind about Jake Gyllenhaal. Like, always thought he was kind of a stray stand, but kicking
killing
the,
it.
kicking
No,
the shit out of
he-
him in this one. No,
He is so good.
He did good. And then two more from Jason's. Whiplash clearly
Yeah.
had to be on there, and Silver Linings Playbook. I thought that that was definitely one
For
of the
sure.
movies of the decade. Yeah, that's what I have for movies. Very similar to Jason's, and thank you again for your input. We always like
Yes.
getting submissions like that.
I have a few.
Any additions that you could
Oh,
think of that like I
definitely.
missed or that you need
Or
to
just
edit?
some that need to be mentioned
For
because
sure.
You
you
missed
mentioned-
Moana.
I was gonna say you
Come
mentioned the one
on.
that parents love, like Frozen and Moana came out this
Yeah.
decade.
That's true. Those were the
Frozen
like
changed
biggest
lives.
ones.
Totally. Every kid in
Oh
the
my
country
God.
was singing both of those movies soundtracks.
Dallas Buyers Club, I thought
That was
was
good.
really
It's
well
really cool.
done.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
Tanya.
I Tanya was
Again,
good.
kind of like bringing back
That was-
Olympics.
yeah,
like
that
that
was
was just such a
interesting.
huge story growing up. Green Book,
really cool.
so good.
Really
and
good movie.
Loving that. The Revenant,
Yeah.
Birdman,
Yep.
which was interesting. A Stars Born. I mean,
good.
Yeah.
everybody was kind of obsessing with that for a second. And Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was awesome.
That was like
Yeah,
a fun
that was definitely a
surprise
good
that I
one.
like got super into. True Grit,
Yep.
so
Glad you
good.
brought that one up.
Zero Dark 30.
Yep.
Oh my god, so well done. Arrival, I was like so entertained by.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that.
I don't know. Again, there's like a lot that can add to the list, but I've
No, those
so
are good
much
additions.
agree
Those are
with
definitely good
both
additions.
Of you.
Let's move on to shows. You know, we kind of did that in the
Yeah.
Crunchies, but like, let's knock out just at least like
Just
we
like
don't-
our
We don't have to
favorite.
name every good show that came out this decade, but like when you think of the most impactful ones, like a handful, when you look back on this decade 20 years from now, like we'll start with the year. Like I thought the best shows of the year were Snowfall,
Yeah,
Mr.
good
Robot,
one. Oh, Mr. Robot, so good.
Schitt's Creek.
Loved it.
yeah.
Loved it.
It.
Ozark,
So
Yeah, it
good.
was really cool. I can't wait for that new
Right.
season.
Great
right?
shows.
Better Call Saul,
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
and Stranger Things. I thought those
Absolutely.
were like
Huge.
best
Great
shows of the year.
Stranger
for
Things
sure.
getting stronger, I think.
Yeah, it is.
As
Still
the
going.
It's
It's
good.
seasons are
Still going
they're
strong
Yeah.
for sure.
Getting better, in my opinion.
For sure. Again, we've gone through the list and we do shows a lot, but I thought those were kind of the ones at least we
Most
talked
would
about
agree.
the most and
Yeah,
most would agree.
for sure.
For the decade, first one that comes to mind that I think anyone would say, whether you see it or not, I know neither of you guys got into it, but Game of Thrones is the show of the decade.
Everybody was
There's just-
talking
Yeah,
about
There's
it.
just no
everybody was
question
talking
about
about
it.
It had the biggest budget of anything else in
More-
Hollywood.
I've
more-
only seen an
yeah.
episode, so it was
More
tough for me,
references than any other show, like in all
Oh,
other
every-
media, and like
but every single conversation
right.
you would hear would be about Game of Thrones. Every meme,
Yes.
every joke was about it. And
Right, like when,
If you
when
don't
Jon
know-
Snow died, you didn't know if he was really dead or like resurrect. Like, it was just it was a
definitely
big deal.
a TV show. Of
Definitely
the decade.
one. Modern Family. I mean,
Oh.
probably comedy. Like what
Absolutely.
what Friends was like in the '90s and going back into like the 2000s. Like I would put Modern Family like in the last like
Absolutely.
10,
That
15
place.
years.
Who didn't watch Modern Family?
Key and Peele was probably
Oh,
like my
so
favorite like
funny.
sketch show.
Yeah,
like that was
definitely.
awesome.
Yes.
I was really into that.
SNL had a good resurgence,
Right.
but I think Key and
Key
Peele
and Peele
still.
was so hilarious.
I laughed harder more often at the Key and Peele sketches than I did at any of the other sketch comedy
They just
shows.
got you right where you wanted
was.
it.
Silicon Valley, I thought was
Good. Also,
different,
needed,
Yeah.
like, a
awesome,
good techie,
perfect for the
like,
time.
yeah.
Kind of like Ballers, how it filled that like entourage
Love
size hole in your
Ballers.
heart.
Yeah.
Like love Ballers, love Silicon
Love
Valley.
some Ballers.
And then there were some like little comedies, just like little gems that I thought were really good this decade, like Brooklyn Nine-Nine,
Yes.
You're the Worst, Broad City,
Broad City was great. Workaholics.
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 When Workaholics was
So
out,
good.
that was like
Oh.
my favorite show.
Yeah.
That and Key and Peele.
So
I was
many
like,
people would say that. Do you know how many people thought that Tyler was Anders?
Yeah, I still get
Sleepy
it. I
Anders.
still get it today.
You're
kind of like a combination of Anders and TJ.
and TJ Miller.
Yeah, yeah, a
combo.
little bit. Yeah, Better Things
Better Things.
belongs on the list.
Absolutely. Pamela Adlon.
Right?
So good.
Obviously, like The Handmaid's Tale,
Oh my gosh.
Empire,
course.
Fargo.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really cool. The first season was really good.
A lot of people would start their list with It's Always Sunny or Shameless.
Yeah.
Love them both.
It's Always Sunny, I feel like has picked up steam. The first 4 or 5 years, nobody watched it. Nobody even
It was
heard
definitely
of
one
it.
that I feel like
Yeah.
was late.
Yeah.
People
And then
relate
after
to the
they'd been on
party.
for 10 years, then it got really popular. And then
I love that show. I feel like
So
I need to. I feel like I
funny.
need
I
to
love the
shower
group.
after watching it.
Yeah,
like
it's very-
it just
Everyone
makes
just
me
is
feel
so
dirty.
gross. I so agree.
But like
they
I
want
can,
you to feel like
but
that.
I can
think,
watch
but
it for
they're
hours.
Successful.
like I like that show.
They're great.
Now these kind of like have asterisks, but I mean, Mad Men from 2007
On
to
the
2015.
list, of course.
If more of it was in this decade
It's a
than
huge
not,
show this
Yeah.
decade.
even if just a little bit of it was in the decade, it should be discussed.
Definitely.
We'll count it.
And same goes for Breaking Bad, 2008 to 2013.
Absolutely. on
5-year
the list.
run,
It
3
was
of
the
them
same.
in this
This
decade.
decade was the Breaking Bad that people
Right.
were watching.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
So,
And some
like-
people show up late. Some people don't even start until
But
months
this
all
was a
over.
huge
later.
Breaking
Yeah.
Bad.
they
Yeah.
can see the entire series in
Right?
a week.
No, that's awesome. Well, that's good. Well, we knocked out some solid movies and shows.
Yeah.
Do we even try and like touch music?
I don't even know if we'd be able to do that.
Music is so relative.
I know. There's
Plus,
just
if
so
you're
many
only,
genres. Do we break it
subjective.
down?
if you're focused
Where
on
do we
on
start?
music from only the last 10 years, like you're missing
missing
out
out.
on most good music.
I think that's just too
there has
hard.
been good music made in the last 10 years.
Right.
There has.
Yes.
And the point is there's so much
And
of
we-
it. People
we haven't
listen to
even been able to
covers that were put
explore
out on
them.
YouTube. People listen
Movies
to
and shows. There's only
Yeah.
so much that comes out, but music, I mean,
right?
it is just.
Like for the year
And I love new music, but yeah, we haven't even gotten a
I
chance
try-
to explore
No,
all of
we
it to
haven't.
do a breakdown.
for like just what comes to mind. Like we got the new Tool album. I thought that was awesome.
yeah,
Coolest
Like,
album,
coolest
definitely.
people have
definitely.
been really excited about it.
That came out. They haven't put out an album in over 10 years, so that was highly anticipated, and I thought that was awesome. Same goes for Rodrigo and Gabriella. They put out a new
Love
album,
Ron
and that was
Gabby.
just.
If you don't know Ron and Gabby,
You should stop this podcast to go and Google
never
and
say that
YouTube
again,
Rod and
but-
Gabby.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the only
Just
time we'll
for
say
that.
that.
Are they brother sister?
No, they're
No,
not. A lot of
they're
people
not.
thought that, and they're not. And a lot of people thought that they were like boyfriend and girlfriend and husband and wife, and they're not that either.
No.
they just kick ass on the guitars together.
Yeah, it sounds
And
like
they are so impressive.
Guitar duo.
sounds
You
like
try
a full
not to
piece
like
band with
this.
just 2 acoustic guitars.
It just
It's
gets
amazing.
you so in the mood.
It's amazing.
It's so fun.
And then just because it's my niece's favorite, and she dances to him every day. I'd say
Absolutely.
Marshmallow.
Because the
Yes.
biggest thing going right
Marshmallow's
now.
everywhere.
He is everywhere.
So I mean, that's all I kind of got for the year. That's what I think of. It's easier for the decade. Like when
and there's so many more.
for the
It's
decade,
so
I feel like
hard.
when I think we look back on this decade, I think it'll be like the time of Imagine Dragons. They
Yeah,
have all the
for
stadium
sure.
hits, like all the commercials. Like
I
they're
forget all the Imagine
half
Dragons.
of-
This happens every time where I'll really like a song. I'm like, oh my god, what is this? And it's Imagine Dragons.
No,
And then
if you go to
I'll
like
hear another
Imagine
song, I'm like,
Dragons
oh my God, I love this.
concert,
Who is
you're
it?
like, I
It's
didn't
Imagine
realize they
Dragons.
were half of what's on the
Every
radio.
single
Like,
I know,
song I know.
I know.
Yeah.
So I agree.
It's crazy
Um,
that band doesn't have a lead guitar.
it's nuts.
There's no guitar in there.
nuts.
Really.
Everything is.
But they're like play like a rock band, but they're really a pop band. Like I don't know, they did it. I like their sound.
Yeah.
I
do
thought
it
it was
well.
cool. They do it
it's
well.
really
Kinda
catchy.
good flavor.
Yeah, they make anthems.
Yes,
It's cool.
They know how to make a catchy song.
Childish Gambino.
So good.
He and Logic, I'd say, were kind of on the talented end for the decade for what they put out.
For sure.
Chance the Rapper, too.
right,
It's in that
right.
same discussion.
Drake.
I was about to
obviously.
say, on that
I mean,
note, Drake, for sure.
He probably had most
Huge
hits
decade.
in a decade.
Him in the weekend.
Right. Same with Adele. Like Adele,
Oh, yeah.
you probably will look back and think of her as like this
Adele and that
decade.
voice.
Sam Smith came
Thank
out of
you.
nowhere
Yeah.
this
I
decade.
was about to say, if
Yeah.
we bring up Adele, it brings up Sam Smith to me too.
And then there's like honorable mentions. Like if you're thinking for the
Taylor
decade, I'll
Swift.
think like Deadmau5, Tyga, Maroon 5,
Yes.
definitely Maroon 5.
John
Yes.
Legend.
Yep, Nick Jonas, Post Malone.
Post
I like
Malone,
Rag
for
and
sure.
Bone Man. I thought he was money. Wiz Khalifa, and like yeah, you said
Yes.
The Weeknd, Kid Cudi
Oh,
for
this
sure.
is so hard.
2 Chainz,
Big
We
DJ
could
Khaled.
keep going.
Yeah, you keep
like,
going.
Oh,
You
DJ
keep
Khaled
going.
was like on everything this decade.
For sure. No.
Oh yeah, this is like way too difficult.
No, we'll stop it there. With
I
that
know.
said, let's take a break.
Enjoying something crunchy? Follow us on social media and tweet us your comments and questions at crunch_cast. We encourage you to participate and thank you for listening.
We're back. Excellent start.
Mm-hmm.
It's good stuff.
Some good stuff.
Had to get over the usual suspects there.
Yeah.
Now let's get into What's next on the list? We'll talk about fashion.
We have some fashion.
Blair's got some fashion for us.
nitty-gritty.
Like for
Let's
the
talk
decade.
about the fashion trends of
No,
the decade.
like when you look back, you're going to think
It's
of some
important.
fashion. Like
I mean, every decade is known for
skinny jeans has to be a top of your
It
list,
is.
right?
It actually is on this
Number
list.
one,
Absolutely.
top of the list, skinny jeans. Yeah, they were
It's not in particular
everywhere.
order, but if there was, it'd be close
It'd be,
to the
yeah,
top.
it'd be close to the top.
Also close to the top is athleisure.
Athleisure.
Athleisure,
like your
yoga pants with
Lululemon
like your
yoga
cute
pants.
top.
I
with,
just want to
like,
say
your-
thank you out there for whoever made that the thing.
You
'Cause
like the
Right?
athleisure?
yeah, I mean it's not bad to look at.
And they're saying like 4 out of 5 girls that wear yoga pants don't do yoga, and
Never done a day
Right.
yoga.
5
in my
out of
life.
5 men don't care.
Yeah.
Pretty
That's
sure
right.
that's a saying or a
Yep.
meme, or I read that somewhere.
Stuff it all into some yoga pants, and I'm into it.
I feel like a lot of '90s nostalgia.
Yeah,
Mhm.
for
That was
sure.
also
On
on
Oh,
a
like
lot
yeah.
of different
printed
lists
tees.
out
Sure.
there.
Oh,
that's been hot.
There's stores like for,
yeah,
for that.
There's
Logos.
definitely like retail resale stores that are basically taking people's
bringing
90s stuff,
The
buying
90s,
it off of
the
them,
high
and fucking
waist,
it up
the
and selling it.
crop, that
all the people born in the 80s and like growing up in the 90s are starting to make
Yeah.
money and going to
We're wearing what
buy
our
the stuff they
parents
didn't
wore.
have and wore what they had, and
The 90s Jordans are hot
Right.
right now. I mean, you can spend thousands of dollars on some 90s J's.
right?
Also huge this decade was festival fashion.
Of course it was.
Like
Definitely. That's like
everyone's at Coachella.
that's
the
not going
Ragnar
away
Fine
either. I
Sunnies.
feel like that's still
And it's progressed
And
too.
their
It's not
hippie,
raver
cute,
culture
chic
anymore like the Candy
gear.
Kids.
Right.
Like it's real fashion now.
Right, it is.
It's
It
a
is.
thing.
It's not
its
counterculture.
own category
it's
now.
pop culture.
Yeah.
and- yeah, definitely.
It was huge. Jumpsuits, rompers. It was a huge splash.
Love some rompers.
Right.
Man buns.
Man buns.
Man buns.
Yeah. Okay. I get. That's I
Never
think-
for
that
me,
would've-
but yeah, I saw
mean,
it
no,
out there.
y'all-
yeah,
y'all
I
weren't
see it.
man bun
We're not man
people.
bun people, but
No.
it's a trend of the decade.
Yeah, I definitely saw it out there.
There was
a
not a
it's a
thing
fashion
before
trend.
this decade.
I snickered at it.
And now more so lately, the like shaved sides with man bun.
Yep, it's getting higher.
Also, just the full shaved,
Shaved
head with beard,
like a nice beard.
Yep.
Tame, like
no sideburn,
groomed
but
beard.
like beard,
Full beard.
full beard.
Full beard.
Millennial pink. That's a thing.
The
Apparently,
millennial pink.
it's really
Official
just all
color?
different shades of pink, but it's millennial pink.
Two in the millennial pink.
I feel like men wear like a lot of like the no socks
Yes.
for like dress wear.
Only dress wear.
Yeah.
Like
And that's turning around now. It's
well,
going
high
to
socks
high
for,
socks now.
for like
for like your athleisure,
Yeah.
because if you're wearing like your
but
joggers
formal,
and your running
you can't
shoes,
wear
you wear your high
socks,
socks,
or
but
you at least have to
formal.
have the optics of no socks.
Right.
I agree. Everything's kind of like flip flopping around.
For
but,
sure.
I mean, that was kind of like the top fashion trends. Again, there was like so
Solid.
many more, but those are the ones I think that'll like stick out the most.
You had some good ones for food too, did you not?
Yeah,
like for
well,
the decade, like some food
there was some
trends.
fun
there were
food
there were
trends
food
this
trends.
decade.
Yeah.
Like kale.
There was a
that
lot of like environmental awareness.
Where did that come from?
keto.
Raisin,
Formerly
veganism.
Atkins.
I took a bunch from Insider. There was avocado toast.
Oh,
all the stuff. It was
That's
just,
a
everybody's
good
got
one.
it.
there was
That's a good
avocado
one.
before, and like everybody had toast.
Remember
but,
when
like, oh
avocado
my
used to be
God.
bad for you?
The official hipster snack of 2020.
And I gotta
Yeah.
say,
Avocado
it is
toast.
amazing. So I'm kind
It's
of like,
delicious.
I'm kind of on that
Oh,
train.
yeah, I'm on
I
But-
mean, don't knock avocado toast until you've had some avocado
It's
toast.
true.
But it is still easy to make fun of.
It is. But poke bowls, all the like acai bowls.
Right?
That all,
Poke bowl, for
every
sure.
sort of healthy bowl you could mix in there with.
I feel like the acai trend that was. It's definitely hot now in the bowls, but 10 years ago, before it was bowls, it was drinks.
It was.
And there
Everything
was-
had
They're
an
trying to make a
acai
splash in
drink.
the
And there
bowl
was
situation.
MLMs for it. And,
Oh, yeah.
You know, they all kind of fizzled out.
Powerberry.
Yeah, and now they're just
Throw with
rendering
some
it
nice
into a
oats
bowl.
and organic Greek yogurt and some farm to table
Yeah.
fruits. You feel like
Yogurts
wonderful.
and different kinds of yogurts.
Yeah.
Of, like
That's hot.
Greek yogurt.
hot.
and
Yes,
fancy
coconut
yogurt.
oil. Like
Yeah.
everything was like different
Essential oil.
alternatives for cooking
Essence
and
of moisture.
moisture.
Uh,
hard seltzer for like boozy beverages.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's been hot in like the last year and a half,
For
2
sure.
years.
That's been a thing. It's like the new Zima. Like we like.
It's
used to-
like
Yeah.
Zima and Smirnoff was a
Yes.
thing, and then like energy drinks was a thing, and then it was all about the like low calories Mick Ultra, and it all kind of fused together to make this.
To zero sugar,
Seltzer
really
fad.
is what it's
for
down
sure.
Like
you can
wine-
get you drunk.
The wine
it doesn't
cooler
get you
game
fat,
has
And you
evolved
don't have a
into
hangover.
the
and you don't have a
seltzer.
hangover. Like
Yeah.
win-win. Everything got more elaborate, I feel, and just pretty extra. Like now, like we have latte art,
Oh yeah.
in
Oh,
which
yeah.
I love it. Honestly, because I'm like so impressed.
Never
but I'm like,
ordered
I
a
would have.
latte
It's not
in my life.
necessary for me because I don't even like. But
My
it's, like,
first instinct is to bash latte art. I want to make fun of it, but you know what? If I'm paying $9.50 for that latte,
They better
I'd
have
love a
something
nice-
extra.
I'd like a little something extra,
little
like
art
a
piece
little
on top.
art on top of my $9.50.
let's see your creativity.
$10 bean juice here. Better look pretty.
Speaking of that, I feel like juicing became just like
Juicing.
such a huge thing. There was like when people stopped eating and everyone was juicing and so like if it wasn't green kale fruit juice,
Right.
I
People
don't
just
know
trying to
what-
get healthy this decade. It used
Which
to
is
be all about
great.
the fast food and what's convenient,
Now it's
what's
organic,
cheap, and now
gluten
it's
free,
yeah,
no carb,
no sugar,
keto.
no taste,
now it's all
no fun.
Is it good food trends?
yeah, organic, locally sourced.
Right.
You know.
I'm glad you put
There
it
was
together.
yeah,
that was
there's
nice.
definitely some fun
There
ones,
is
but
some
those
good
I
food
feel like were
trends.
like ones we'll remember.
Definitely. Let's move on to tech. That's
Oh
always
yeah,
fun.
there was
Yeah.
some good tech
And we
this
don't-
decade.
we-
I mean,
Lots
it is
of new
crazy to
inventions.
look at these
It
and think
is.
that this like these didn't exist a decade ago.
Right?
Yeah.
And we don't have to do it for the year because we do
No,
that
it's
every
more-
few sods, like our Nostalgic X, the Futures
Right.
Now. Like we do that every
You'll catch
every
up,
few
like,
sods for sure.
all of that.
Stick with us.
Tech, obviously, you have to think of the tablet first. That started off
for
the
the
decade,
decade.
2010. I mean, the iPad started off in 2010.
The phones were getting smaller, and then like
People like
the
originally
pads were
made fun of
getting bigger,
iPads,
right?
and now like
Yeah.
every business,
Is run off
everybody
of
like
them.
Every
runs
smart
every kid,
home,
every
they're
grandparent.
they're connected onto fridges and on the walls for your smart home.
everywhere. They're in vehicles now.
Your old tablet
It's all
is like
over.
handed down, and like people have had 2 or 3 tablets now. It's been 10 years. That's crazy. Obviously, Uber and Lyft,
Yeah, that's great.
ride sharing,
Yes.
like that's
The largest
Huge.
taxi cab company in the world owns no taxi cabs.
that's crazy.
That's a weird statistic. Same
That's
thing
a-
with like the largest hotel company in the world owns no,
No hotel.
hotels.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Airbnb was huge this decade.
Yeah.
It
Huge.
was again kind of like starting, but I mean, it is now considered a huge travel option
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like,
Like,
a
where
few
are you
people
at
knew about it,
Airbnb?
but
It's
now
like the super cutest,
now
like,
it's like
spot.
a standard.
We
If
use
it's like
it.
a special experience.
We've
when
done
you do,
it
like,
4 or 5 times.
Airbnb.
Love it.
Yeah, I do love it.
Instagram that came out in 2010,
Yeah,
bought out 2
there
years
was already
later by
like
Facebook.
around, but like Instagram was huge.
And you
this
think of those
decade.
like filters and the onslaught of pictures.
God, people
sure.
like live their lives around
Businesses are based off of Instagram
Oh
now.
my god.
I miss MySpace.
I loved the MySpace. My favorite thing about MySpace was that you could choose a song to play.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
You can put a lot of
you could
effort
pick
into
any
like
song
your
to
Customize your
play.
entire
Your
page
screen
to make it
page,
look
yeah.
completely different than everybody else's.
I was all about the customization.
Me
Oh,
too.
definitely.
I spent an obnoxious amount of time.
It was so fun.
My page was tits.
I had a pretty sweet page myself.
Pretty sweet page.
VR is going places, and that is definitely something I think of that's like starting to take off like this last
Oh,
decade.
it has gotten crazy
we were
now.
pitched a lot of VR in our day.
Yeah,
Nintendo
growing
tried to
up.
give us
Oh,
a
it is
VR.
different now.
Like it is
8-bit VR, come
yeah,
here.
it's a different story now. Like when Oculus came out in 2013, like that was a big deal. Delivery food apps.
Amazing.
Like Postmates,
Yes.
DoorDash.
Now every single
changed the way
restaurant
you
delivers.
eat dinner.
Yes.
Like it changes everything.
You can now just get any single like
Yeah.
any restaurant.
You
anything
like
around,
expand and you
it can
try a
get
lot
there.
more restaurants and you eat like better food more consistently, and you never leave, but it's a nice option.
When
Yeah,
you
it
have
sure
small
is.
It's a
kids,
nice option for
sometimes
sure.
It's nice.
It's nice.
It's a nice option.
Drones.
Drones.
It's
How cool
used
are
in videos, like photography,
deliveries,
marketing.
movies,
photography,
military,
Yeah.
drones.
Yeah.
They're-
Movies
that's
used
only
to have
getting
to.
like bigger too. I
Right?
feel.
Movies used to have to use helicopters for every single thing, and
Helicopters.
that
Oh my god, that's
was
probably huge for that
hundreds of
industry.
thousands of dollars,
Yeah.
and now
Oh my
they can
God.
throw
And
up
people,
a
and
$2,000
and a
drone
pilot,
and get the
and a
same shot.
cameraman.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And now you can attach a camera to a drone. Smart watches.
Super cool.
Smartphones,
Smart homes.
watches,
Smart
everything.
homes. Like the
Smart
integrated
cars.
devices
Yes.
connecting everything
Like
online.
Nest thermostats.
Your fridge, your
and
thermostat,
front
your
door,
lights.
the ring.
Yeah. There's been a lot of good tech in the last
Everything
decade.
you can just like pull up on your phone.
Right?
I need to like make
God.
it cooler. I need to turn the lights off. I need to check at the front door.
It is crazy some of the things that you're just totally used to now that 10 years ago weren't how they are. Even just the way Amazon and like how you
Oh my
shop.
gosh.
It's just everything is
Huge.
online. Everything's online.
There's been a lot of GPS,
GPS.
Google Maps, and how all of that's changed. We like
Because you're right. Like you used to just print out.
you print MapQuest.
You print out
You
MapQuest.
get your like
that
printed
was,
paper
that was 15,
out
20
and,
years
like,
ago, and now
And where really everybody
just-
before would just use maps, which I thought was like outrageously difficult because I'm like,
cavemen.
I mean, how do you do this? Thing is huge. It takes over the entire car. It's just to drive and like figure out this enormous map. Like, okay,
It's still not quite perfect yet. There's some apps that work really well, but you still have to use them off your phone and all that. But the GPS,
it is so much
like,
easier.
It's
still
a
now,
lot
though.
better.
in the vehicles still. Like they have outdated maps. They'll take you down roads that don't exist anymore. Like GPS, it's come a long way. It can still go quite further.
And it will.
Let's get into vehicles. I want
Yeah.
to talk some cars.
There's some self-driving cars now.
There's self-driving
amazing.
cars. I mean,
That I would say, first off, I'm sad that we're not flying.
You definitely thought by like 2020 we'd like
2020.
definitely be flying.
we should be flying. I get why we're not flying.
There's some concept cars out there that are probably like
you just can't have people flying.
floating and
We just
flying.
need neighborhood airports, basically like a park down the street that you can go to. You can take your car off,
Well, that's a good idea.
fly it to a park near where you work, land that sucker, drive
There's
it
like
in.
a traffic system for the air, just like there is.
I don't trust people
Dressed
on
from
the
air.
road driving on the ground with like four,
You're gonna trust
four
them in
tires
the air.
on the
We're
ground.
just gonna be
Yeah.
smashing into
on
each
the
other.
air. In
They're probably still trying to
in
figure it
new
out. We need to be on
new
tracks
technology.
and
we
be
need to
on
be on
like.
tracks. That's
Well-
and
right.
they need to like
More of like a
control
monorail
everything.
system.
If
for
the
sure.
Tesla Model S can drive itself on the road, I'm sure.
Why don't you
old
just press a
Elon-
button and it pulls me up, and I'm like, I need to go to the grocery store. We're not there yet, are we?
We're not there yet.
Are we there
Not
yet?
quite.
What cars do you think about when you look back on the decade?
Number one, the Tesla Model S.
Obviously, it would have to be. Totally.
Yeah.
It's pound for pound the fastest vehicle on the road.
You see it everywhere now.
And if you were to spend the same kind of money on a supercar for the same power to weight ratio and the numbers that you're getting for performance and all that, you're into like the multi-million-dollar vehicles. And you
Right.
can get that for $80K. It's crazy.
That's crazy.
I really liked, the Ford Raptor
Right.
F-150
Love that.
pickup truck.
I mean, it's been around for a long time, but
It
it
looks
is
cool.
it has gotten
In the
just
last 10 years,
ridiculous.
it's
new
Just
levels of
looks like
ridiculous.
beast.
It's awesome,
for a truck that you can just drive off the lot. It's just about perfect for all conditions.
right?
And they're not cheap. They're 90
Right.
grand, but worth it because that vehicle is going to hold up. You can drive that thing off road all day and then drive it to work. And in 10 years, it's still going to be worth 30, 40 grand.
You're more like everyday cars. You would got to think Toyota Prius. Like when you look back on
Yeah,
the
that
decade,
was
what
huge.
people are going to think of, I think Toyota Prius.
Right.
And like
There's a lot
maybe
of
any
Priuses.
crossover, like any
Definitely.
one of those.
That's a totally new genre in the last
right?
decade was the
Yeah,
crossover.
invented like this decade.
Love
I
it.
also think of like the Chrysler 300, like Dodge Magnum days.
You had a 300, didn't
I
you?
did have a 300. I did 300C RX. It was like, ooh, I
On
loved that
20
car.
twins
Loved that car.
with a nice bumping system. too.
Yeah,
Remember that?
Chargers, Challengers.
Yeah.
Like those days for sure. Like those kind of came back and
Yeah,
this
I
decade.
feel like the last decade really produced a lot of manufacturing that they took it back to the original 1960s, 1970s vibe and then just remade it into something new. Like now you've got a brand new car that looks like it came from the 60s.
Right?
And Ford did it, Dodge did it, everybody was doing it except for Chevy. Chevy was going into the future. Their cars turned into spaceships. But now they've got a mid-engine, rear-wheel or all-wheel drive Corvette C8. It's amazing.
So cool.
It's
That
amazing.
was top of my list on here. That was sweet. Let's move on to some sports.
Yeah.
I don't want to get weird on it. Everyone knows the teams of the decade. I feel
There's some big moments.
there was some big moments. I mean, as far as like the teams go, I would say like you got to consider the Dodgers. I mean, 7 playoff appearances.
Yasiel Puig, man.
Yeah.
That guy is just changing lives in LA.
Right? Pittsburgh Penguins, 10 playoff appearances in the last decade with 2 championships. Like,
That's impressive.
What's up?
Good numbers.
Chicago Blackhawks, 8 playoff appearances with 3 chips. Like, Boston Red Sox broke the curse.
Yes,
Big
broke the
decade for
curse.
them. 4
The
playoff
Cubs
appearances,
also
2
broke
chips.
a curse.
Go Cubs, right? Seahawks, 8 playoff appearances and 1 chip. 2 Super Bowl appearances. San Francisco Giants. I mean, only the 4 playoff appearances, but 3 times they won it. Spurs.
Just the most boring, fundamental team.
Right? The LeBrons, really, any team he was on, the Heat or
Brought a title to
yeah,
Cleveland.
like whichever team he was on, he went to the playoffs.
I mean, Dallas
every
beat
year
him,
except for
but,
this.
like, whatever.
Dallas
I mean,
did
but, like-
beat him, but
I mean, whatever.
Call Blair.
Like,
Just
Blair.
the St. Louis Blues won the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, they did.
After 52 years without a
That
championship.
was a big deal.
I'm
Awesome.
excited.
That was a
huge
big
for
deal.
them.
For the biggest teams, it comes down to the Warriors or the Patriots, as far as I'm concerned.
Oh,
It's-
Patriots dominated this decade.
I mean,
God.
Warriors.
You just couldn't get him out of the championship game. It's like,
They each have 3 championships. I mean, the playoff appearances, it was every year for the Patriots. And they were in the Super Bowl 6 times?
So
7
boring.
oh
times?
my God.
I mean,
We're over
but
it.
the Warriors were so, I don't know.
They were
I don't
fun
know.
to watch.
The Warriors are just a super team.
It would be one of those. There were some big moments, both for the year and for the decade.
Yes.
Really, the only one for the year I could think of was Tiger. I thought that was the biggest thing, was him,
Yeah.
Coolest,
him
yeah.
finally
Tiger
winning a
even,
major
laughed.
again.
2018, Tiger won a tour championship.
Right.
And then, Masters
The
2019.
Masters, that was the big
Everybody was
deal,
just
him
like,
winning a major
it's
again.
always fun.
You
when
know why
Tiger's,
I think he's winning now? Like, I'm the biggest Tiger fan going back. He's the reason why I got into professional golf. I think Tiger's having fun now for the first time in a long time.
Yeah.
It's always
or
when you're at
ever.
your best.
Makes a big
when
difference.
You're having
Yeah,
fun.
he's not a machine anymore. He's out there. He's having a good time. He's, enjoying himself, and he's winning again, which is exactly what the sport needs.
Right?
Man, speaking of that, Usain Bolt, fastest man alive.
You
machine.
got to think of him.
He made
Like-
track and field
Right.
front page news.
He
Some
was
That's awesome.
Olympians.
fun to watch.
like Simone Biles or Michael Phelps.
Simone
Yeah,
Biles.
Michael
Huge.
Phelps breaking
Dominates.
records.
Huge this decade.
Yes, absolutely. Odell Beckham Jr. I hate that he
Blair.
has I even hate to bring up
Blair.
that he has
He's
the
got
catch of
a
the decade.
What are you doing here?
Yes.
No,
one
I know,
catch.
and they replay this, and it's
Why are you
always
bringing up
against
bullshit?
the Cowboys.
What do you do
and
this year, Blair?
hate it.
Nothing.
Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, all right. Man, you got to bring up OBJ like that in the
Right.
catch.
Sorry, I know it's a sore
Blair.
subject. McGregor versus Mayweather. That was
That was
huge
awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
that
was
was
cool.
like a
thing.
That was cool.
cross sport battle.
American Pharaoh wins Triple Crown.
It's a
Yeah.
big
That was
deal.
It's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, for sure. That
happened?
never happens.
Almost never happens.
Never happens.
Let's talk video games.
Ooh.
I want to get into.
That was a
Vid-
fun
it's
decade
the-
for video
I mean,
games.
video games.
I couldn't. This wasn't my decade for video games.
I mean, me neither. Like me
I'm
neither.
a classic gal. Like
I
your
am-
your
We're
Nintendo,
not-
your Super Mario.
I'm a
like,
well-known bad gamer. I enjoy video games.
fun. We're just
I
not
like to
great.
play them. I enjoy looking at the newest system and seeing the newest games.
Enjoying the graphics.
I'm very bad at video
I
games.
loved when I beat Blake. We'd be playing Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter, and I'd just go
She's a button
spit
smasher.
Dulcim on his ass so
She is a
hard, just
button
click,
smasher.
clicking as hard as I can, just pressing
So
every single button.
annoying. And it's so
Blanca would
annoying
just
to
like
lose
just
to your
keep
little
going and going and
sister.
going and just
Yeah.
We're
No greater
definitely
feeling
not
being
in
your
our
older
video
brother.
game primes right now.
No.
No.
And
But-
when I was in my video game prime, I spent that time playing guitar, like when I could have, where I spent video game time.
and are
Yeah.
great at guitar.
Thank you. Like that's where I spent, my time doing that.
And you're
Tyler,
like, okay,
Tyler's
Tyler
the
is
gamer.
the gamer
Now
here.
Tyler,
He's
is
just on a different impressive level.
You embarrass
made for
people
this.
at video games.
I wish I had time to like devote
he could be
to
on
it.
a team and be one of
If
them.
I
could be
had
making money
if I
at
had the
video
time,
games.
if I could do 8 hours a day, if I could do 40 hours a week of gaming,
Yeah.
I could definitely win some money.
Yeah, it's impressive watching you do what you do.
But in
In-
the last decade, more than anything, the biggest change, online gaming.
Online gaming. With that said, as far as I'm concerned, there's one game.
That's right.
There's one game out there.
That's right.
That matters, and then there's all the other games.
Yep. Bring it home, brother.
It's Call of Duty.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
COD. We were at my niece's
Yeah.
Third
birthday party.
party.
You're like
birthday party.
huddling in the
I find
kitchen.
myself
like, what
in
are
like
they
a group
talking
of 6
about?
men huddled in the kitchen, like,
Talking
oh yeah,
loadouts.
COD. Tell me about your loadout, bro. Really?
What do you go with?
Nice. The M91 for real? Rear grip?
What perks are you using?
Shut up. Oh man.
Makes so much more sense now.
You stack it with the RPG. Ooh, nasty. How many kills did you get?
Filthy. What's your record?
What's your record?
What's your kill ratio?
What's your rank?
What's your KD?
Let's talk numbers.
How'd you do on double XP weekend?
Did you rank up?
So COD is obviously, and I think there's a lot of people that would agree, but
Yeah.
when you think of the decade going back, in my opinion, I think you're going to talk about Madden, even though that was most every decade since
Yeah.
video games have come out. Same thing with NBA, like 2KO, Need for Speed.
Yeah.
I was super into the last Mortal Kombat, and I loved seeing you do all the final moves. You looked at like you knew how to do the finishing move for every character on Mortal Kombat 11, and that was like
Impressive.
it was impressive. And it was the game was so gory and
To
it
beat
was
Tyler
awesome.
is like
It was awesome.
such a feeling of
happen often.
accomplishment. Like, I
Doesn't
just
happen
feel
often.
like I could do anything.
Dark Souls,
So fun.
big time.
Dark Souls was fun.
God of War,
Yeah.
GTA 5. Those are the games that like I would play and be
Almost like
interested
Grand
in.
Theft Auto.
I think the big.
GTA 5.
I think the
Grand Theft Auto 5 came out in 2013,
Right.
and
Really?
that was the last
one.
Grand Theft Auto they come out like every 10 years or so, but they're so good and they're
Does it
so
still
big.
hold up today?
Still, yeah.
Still.
You can go in there and do
There's
something
so much
totally
you can
different
do
today
in
that
there.
you did
I
in
watch
13.
it and I'm like beyond impressed, but I don't even know.
Really, the category should sound like probably the most people would say is Fortnite,
Yep.
like League of
Oh,
Legends.
yes.
That's what you
Yeah.
see like competing
I
on
feel
TV.
like that was a huge thing.
PUBG
Yeah.
was huge.
Yeah.
Another kind of first third-person
Minecraft.
shooter.
Minecraft, even Pokemon Go. That was that was a big deal.
Cell phone games.
Cell phone games, right?
Ridiculous.
Yes.
Angry Birds and
Yeah,
Candy Crush.
Candy Crush.
Angry
Cell
Birds
phone
even
games.
became like a movie now. They have like all this merch.
You're right.
It's
Yeah.
like
God, that's
Yes.
crazy.
Legend of Zelda had a title in 2017 called Breath of the Wild that basically is on everybody's top 10 list as the number one.
Really?
Yeah.
That was like the number one.
Yeah.
Really?
Cool seeing that, Legend of Zelda and Zelda's
Last time
still
I
around.
played Zelda, I think it was on like a Genesis or a regular Nintendo.
I got it on the Reboot NES. The
Reboot.
first one.
what do you know about that?
Best one. Reboot. Elder Scrolls, The Last of Us, The Witcher, Mass Effect 2,
Right.
Red Dead Redemption, Super Mario Galaxy on the Wii, Super Street Fighter 4. Those are all some other.
With or
Super
without the
Street
scooter
Fighter
stick.
4.
Yeah. There's been
How
so
do I not
many.
know about that? Do we
Yeah.
have that?
We don't know.
Tyler.
That's it.
We definitely need to have the
What's
most
up with the Street
updated
Fighter
Street
4?
Fighter.
I'm right on top of that road.
I'm telling you right now, like it sounds like a
Amazon
good
now.
idea, but you give Blair like some Blanca or Dulcime and
Oh.
put her in a corner, like you're in trouble.
Not
She's
me.
gonna,
I'll
she's
I
gonna
will.
button smash her way out of there.
I'll put up a fight. I'll tell you that.
She cannot stand up to my 36 hit combo coming
Oh.
straight at your dome.
She could beat me like 7 out of every
Got
8
quick.
times.
Go quick.
It's embarrassing.
What you don't know is there's a block button. Like there's a thing
Yeah,
called
you don't block near as much as
Yeah.
Tyler does. Because then I'll try and do the same thing to Tyler that I do
Defense
to
is key.
Blake.
It
And then
doesn't
I'm
work.
like, it doesn't work the same. Why aren't you letting me hit
Just
you
beat
like
the
this?
shit out of
Why are
Blake.
you blocking me like that? Stop doing that. Let me hit you like, move your arm.
That's good. Well, I know we have another category.
So I do have like,
Oh no.
just like one last category. We've like talked about a lot of fun different things over,
Yeah, it's
the
all for
course of
fun.
the- So, we talked about
I haven't heard
Most
about this
fuckable
completely,
women over
but I
50.
get the gist.
I heard
we
the
talked about
rumor.
all sorts of that.
We have.
I just think it like is only fitting to discuss the most bangable dudes of the year 2019.
Oh boy.
I just don't know.
Oh,
I
I
just
get
think y'all are
it.
gonna-
It's no. We do a lot of masculine.
We're just
we
gonna discuss
We talk about.
I hope you can hear
the
the,
most
excitement in my
desirable-
voice.
We've
right
done
the
now.
most
most
desirable
fuckable
men
over
of the
50.
year. We're just gonna discuss.
I get it.
I
Blair
know
was a
y'all are
good
two
sport.
straight men. We're just
All
gonna
right,
like
we'll do this for
have
Blair.
some funsies.
Yeah,
We'll
and talk
do
about
that.
some hot men. Okay.
let's do
We're
it.
just,
We'll do this
okay,
for Blair.
We're just gonna have some fun. Okay. I'll just set up here and kind of like which one would you kind of like?
Would
which
you
one's the
rather?
more bangable
Because
dude?
like nothing. I'm telling you, nothing's rushing to mind.
Yeah,
Let's
like-
start off small.
Sort of small.
I'm
How
just-
about a
let's
first
just start off easy. It's actually none of these are easy. Let me just tell you.
My
It's gonna be
celebrity
hard.
pass list didn't include any males. They were all. female.
Okay,
But
let's just
I could tell you if
here's
there's a
some two
bang if the
classic-
dude is bangable
Sure.
or like
two
a handsome
classic
dude.
hotties. We all love them. Brad Pitt, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Okay.
Cool, okay, for
Which
sure.
one's the more
Yeah.
bangable dude?
Between those two,
Those two. That's your start.
Brad
Which
Pitt
one's more your
Fight Club
fave?
or
It's more 2019.
or Benjamin Button. No, I think it's Brad Pitt.
Meet Joe Black?
Whether they're in their prime
I think
or
we need to
now, I
discuss
think the answer is Brad
2019.
Pitt. 2019. Okay.
Most bangable dude.
Well, between those two,
Yeah.
I'll go BP.
Okay.
I
would
agree
you
with
agree?
you. Yeah. BP.
All right. What about Keanu Reeves or James McAvoy?
Oh my God, this
I'm
is
tired.
like a
I know
really
first
tough-
this is gonna be a hard one for
He's got-
Tyler.
he's
you
got-
take a second on
Keanu
that.
has kind eyes.
I'd be honored to be with James McAvoy.
Ooh.
I mean,
But
James
Keanu's
McAvoy.
the one.
Keanu is the one.
It's a hard.
How do you pass up on the
matchup.
one? But James McAvoy.
I have a question. Is there any interest in a three-way?
I mean, I'm in if you're in.
I meant
No,
me,
you
in?
meant with
My
Keanu
and
and John.
You
Keanu.
in?
If I have to choose between the two, I'd rather.
Keanu and John. He can't make up his mind, is what he's saying. Blair's like, I'm in.
So y'all-
I'd love to jump in with Keanu or John.
So you get a half, and the three of us have to split out. Okay. See, I'm telling you, this is hard. Let's keep going. This
Keanu.
was like a big year.
Really?
Okay, so what if we do like Stranger Things, Hopper,
Okay.
David Harbour? Would you
Yeah.
do Hopper or Hemsworth?
Hopper or well,
Are you gonna go dad bod? Or are you
Hopper-
gonna go
Hopper's
like
a manly
Chris
man.
Hemsworth?
Which Hemsworth?
Let's go Chris.
Chris?
2019.
Thor? Is he Thor?
Dad bod or Thor bod?
Yeah.
One of them. He's hot bod either way. They look. I believe so.
I'm just gonna play it safe and just say Hemsworth.
Yeah, either.
You're gonna pick Hemsworth.
I'm gonna go. Like, I love David Harbour. He's great.
Yeah. It's a
I'd
great
Family
actor.
man.
I'd go out for beers for that guy any night of the week.
Puts his
I'd
heart
bowl
and
3
soul.
frames
He's gonna
with him.
save you.
But
It's
like,
a tough one.
if it's like a hypothetical, like you got to pick a dude.
Hemsworth.
I mean, yeah, I'm gonna lean towards Hemsworth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. John Legend
Oh.
or Chadwick Boseman.
Parts of me.
What's none of you?
Y'all would have fun with both these guys, I think.
Wait, John Legend. or
John
who?
Legend or
Chadwick
Chadwick
Boseman?
Boseman from Black
Boseman.
Panther.
Panther for
Yeah.
me.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. Tyler, which one do you
James
go
Brown.
with?
I'd still be digging on James Brown.
I don't know. I feel like Johnny Legend's more of like a sensual lover.
Y'all would play like sit and play piano together
Sing
and then
some
like have some
songs.
passionate moments.
Yeah.
Johnny Legend.
Blake's just Blake's interested in the Bozeman.
You once said Jamie Foxx does a better John Legend than John Legend does. And to build on that, I think Jamie Foxx is better looking than John Legend too. So like I feel like he may be like John Legend or Jamie Foxx.
Well,
That's
Jamie
too
Foxx,
hard.
I mean,
Well, you teed it
That's a-
up.
You think
Yeah,
Jamie
that's
Foxx
too
is hotter
easy.
than John Legend?
I feel like Jamie
That's a
Foxx
tough
can
one.
take the shape
I
of
think he's a better
John
looking man.
Legend.
They're both so just
and
like
a
well-rounded
million other
that it's
people.
hard. All right,
he's a
let's keep
shapeshifter.
going because this is too difficult.
He done changed
That's tough.
Django.
Let's talk Chris Evans or Zac Efron,
Chris Evans. Which one's Chris Evans?
Captain America.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not
okay.
another teen movie.
Gotcha. Yep.
Or Zac
Whipped cream
Efron. They
bikini.
both kind of have like a similar build. They're kind of like small but
they are.
strong.
Zac Efron.
Not small, but like.
Now, Zac Efron would have to be high up on the list. This is definitely a bangable dude.
Yeah.
But I feel like
Both
he's
pretty
making
bangable
up for
dudes.
something with the physique that he's working so hard to like keep.
Bet you he's got a.
I don't know.
Sorry,
It could be
James.
height. I don't know. I just feel like he's making up for something. But
I actually have no idea what
but
their height is.
He looks like a
so.
spinner.
there's no denying that that's a good looking dude.
Yeah.
Like Zac Efron's a good looking.
It'd be hard
dude.
to choose between either of them.
He's a cute dude.
Oh, you're
a handsome
he's-
fellow.
I'd
Are you
take-
looking for a cutie? Or are you looking for like a sexy?
Tyler's more of
hottie?
like a. He's more of a manly man. Like Tyler's.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I have the perfect
Tyler's
one
better
for you.
for tall for me.
Jason Momoa or Idris Elba. Like I see you as an Idris.
Aquaman or
Kinda got-
Idris? Oh, like now Idris.
Idris Elba.
Idris is a gentleman. Like I could see like, you know.
You'd respect him.
He's
You'd
gonna
Yes.
go
pick
on
you
a-
up in like a stretch limo and take you out to
we'd
a
go-
nice
he's gonna
dinner.
treat you
we'd have
fancy.
cocktails and go like enjoy
Yeah.
a scotch on the veranda.
That's right.
You're on
Yeah.
like your best behavior. when you
Expensive
do this.
liquor. But
You
know,
could even just be going to somewhere casual, but you would still dress very formal.
That's right.
With Idris.
but
Definitely.
Jason Momoa would like throw you on the back of a Harley and take you up a mountain or something.
Jason Mimosa.
Which adventure are you going on?
Ildris.
Ooh, yeah. I knew you were
It's
gonna
hard
choose
not to
that.
pick
Blake, which one are you going
Aquaman.
on?
It's hard not to go with Aquaman, but it's Idris for sure.
Oh,
It's Ildris.
that's too hard.
got
Okay.
the
I like
accent,
I like to
too,
be
like-
wined and dined.
For sure. We're just assuming these things about him.
Yeah, like we know them at all.
In my mind.
Okay. Next we have Henry Golding.
Now that's a guy I
Crazy
could
Rich
see Tyler
Asians.
with. Now that's a guy
Y'all would
for
look
Tyler.
beautiful together.
He's tall and handsome. Like Tyler's
Initially,
tall and
I
handsome.
wanna say that,
they'd be-
yeah.
People would stop and they would
They'd be
they would
like,
look at us
oh,
and like,
yes.
those two were somebody.
And you're beautiful together.
Blair and
Okay.
I get it all the time. Like
You definitely
We
get it way
often-
more with
Yeah,
Henry than you would.
would
we
get
often
Henry
get
for
mistaken
sure.
for somebody special.
They're like, we
And
don't know
it's
who you are, but you look
regular
like you could
people
be
over here.
someone.
We're just normals. Sorry, normies.
Okay, Henry Golding or Terry Crews?
I mean,
Who's
Well,
the more bangable dude?
you don't bang Terry Crews. Terry Crews bangs you.
I mean, it's like the persona of Terry Crews that keeps me on the straight and narrow and out of prison.
Terry Crews would be
The
awesome.
man.
Like, see, like this is a shame because I just wouldn't want to hang out with Terry Crews. What was the other option?
Henry Golding.
Oh,
Or
Henry Golding
Or
or
Terry Crews.
Have to choose
They're
between
both-
one of them
Yeah.
for like a sexual encounter, or
Most bangable dude.
oh no, just most bangable dude.
Who are
Between
you-
those
who do
two,
you wanna bang? Who do you think-
Henry is more bangable than 2019
Yeah,
Terry Crews?
for sure. Terry was hot last year.
But you could do like Terry Crews and Dwayne Johnson, go heavyweights.
Well,
Go the
that,
heavyweights,
that
yeah.
brings me to next Dwayne Johnson
or,
or Kevin Hart.
I mean,
the heavyweights.
you want to talk about the heavyweights. A class.
Which direction are you going? Do you want like the big,
like
muscular, huge man?
Who's more bangable?
Or you want Kevin Hart? Smaller package that you could have. Like y'all are two taller guys.
it's
like
it's
what
it's
are you
obviously
looking for? Someone
between
more?
those two, the more bangable guy is Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah, absolutely.
The more funny guy, the more like it's
The
You'd
more-
want,
it's-
you'd want to just sit and hang with Kevin.
it's
but
Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah.
You don't want to bang Kevin.
I don't want to bang
Either
either
one of them,
Blair. I
if
don't
I-
want to bang.
You are such great
if I
shorts
have
right now.
to-
This is
she's,
so fun.
she's like trying to like she's like, please say it.
Yes.
I need the bit
I
so I
need-
can just snip this and use this out of context later. I'll bang The Rock. I'll choose him.
I like Kevin
I
Hart's
still
beard.
can't believe I'm even like y'all are letting me do this right now. Okay, y'all are gonna love this. Ryan Reynolds. Y'all both would totally bang Ryan Reynolds.
Top of the list.
Or Robert Downey Jr.
Now that's tough.
Iron Man
See,
or
this
the
is-
Green Lantern.
This is my
They're both
threesome
funny.
request.
That's your
That's
three.
the
Don't
fun
make,
one.
don't make me choose.
I know. It's
Don't
hard.
make, man, those
Robert Downey's
hard.
bringing the drugs.
I'd have so much fun with those two guys.
Both would be a fun.
It'd be a
fun
laugh
time.
riot. You definitely have to record that. Just like, put the old phone on record in the corner
Oh
for a
man,
while.
Blake's just gonna hope.
But like, we could like human centipede or something.
I would certainly give handies.
Centipede with them?
Like I'd
Handies
send
for everyone.
Like I'd
They'd
send
complete your trio.
handies for everyone.
I'm having a good time.
No, I'd centipede with Downey
Skiing down the
and-
slopes.
and Ryan Reynolds for sure.
Okay.
Deadpool. and
Would
Green
you
Lantern.
Pine or Pratt for the Chris's? Chris Pine or
Battle
Chris
of the
Pratt?
Chris's.
I feel like it's two totally different
Pine is a
experiences
prettier
in my
man,
mind.
He is.
but Pratt is.
Pratt's gonna be like so easygoing. He's not gonna judge. He'll probably like smoke a blunt with you after.
Right?
Again, we're totally making up like all these things
Yeah,
that we think about these people, but I don't
It's
know.
all
It's just kind of what
assumptions.
I'm like.
It's
feeling.
assumptions.
Yeah. I don't know. I would probably go Pine.
Chris Pine's definitely gonna make you like.
Who do I
bring
think the
chocolate-covered
girls think
strawberries and
is
play
more
some,
bangable?
See,
like-
that's what I'm trying to do.
Or is
I'm
it
trying to
Boys
think.
to Men?
It's
That's what
hard.
I'm
Is
trying
it
to
like,
do.
who would I want to bang more, or who do I think the girls would want to bang
No,
more?
you.
Me personally.
Who would
Oh,
you
see,
get
I'm
more
thinking like,
excited
who
about?
would the girls?
No.
bring more?
Yeah,
Who would you get more
I'm
excited
thinking
about?
the girls want the Pratt, and I'm thinking I'd have to go with Pine.
See, I
You
would
gotta
agree.
go with what you're feeling.
I would agree.
Like, so
Yeah.
you're going Pine.
I would agree.
Okay.
He'd romance you a little bit.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
gonna want to
Give you a little foot massage afterwards.
Give you a bus fare home in the
Right.
morning.
Are you gonna go the Michael B. Jordan route or Donald Glover?
Oh, Donald Glover.
I don't know.
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
That's tough.
I mean, Donald Glover's like,
Like one of the coolest people ever.
Donald
They're both.
Glover's for a more.
But Michael B.
bangable-
Jordan's so hot.
I think it's Michael B. Jordan. I think he's the more bangable dude of these two.
But Donald
yeah,
Glover,
but, like, which one would you rather do?
I think he's going Michael B.
I mean, I can't answer
Most
that.
bangable
like,
dude 2019.
You gonna power bottom
if,
Michael
if
B?
it's like, yeah. It's the only way to bottom.
It's with power, of
What?
course.
There is no other way. This is so great.
This is awful.
Okay.
This is the only time you're doing
No,
this.
if we're
Yeah.
going on this
Ooh.
route, Channing Tatum,
No, that's got to be most bangable dude of the decade.
that's right.
Well, I mean, are we talking Channing Tatum, 22 Jump Street, or
Magic Mike.
Mr. Carter, or Magic,
Magic Mike, Channing Tatum.
All of the
All
above.
of them. Step Up. He was like so hot.
Pick your Tatum.
or would you go a Franco?
Either
Pick
Franco?
either Franco. Dave or James.
I think
Would you pick a Tatum?
Tatum.
Channing Tatum
I think
or
that's not
one-
even
or one of the
fair.
Francos?
I think
Over both
I think
Francos.
Channing Tatum is probably
You'd
more
blow the
bangable than
Francos
everyone
out.
that we've had so far. I think the better would be choose like the debate between the Francos.
I know, but at the same time, it just didn't work out that way. I'm sorry.
Which Franco, Tyler?
The richer one?
Which
James.
one's that?
Of course, James.
Look at you.
Dave's been busy.
James has an Academy Award
Does that make him more bangable?
in my book.
Oh. Just shows what you are.
I don't know.
Status king.
I'll stand in Dave's corner.
You like?
It's just turned
little
you
Franco.
into like a whole different person. This is
for-
so unlike you. He's usually like does not even care about like how much money.
For the
If I gotta pick a Franco, I mean, what's the difference?
The bangability
Yeah.
factor, I
Their
would go
bank
Dave.
accounts
That ups their bangability factor.
I suppose so.
between the two of them.
I mean, okay. Are you gonna go Robert Pattinson or Taylor Lautner?
Oh, the old team.
Team
the
J.
Twilight Saga.
Team Cullen.
I'm,
You're Cullen. Are you gonna stick with your kind? Or are you gonna like I don't know? Taylor Lautner's
I am.
like
No,
pretty hot.
You're more of
That's
a Lautner man.
That's a better looking fella
He's a
for
bangable
sure.
dude.
I'm team Taylor.
In my book, it's Pattinson, just because
really.
he's gonna be a Batman, and how cool would that be to say you bet
You just want to bang Batman.
Taylor
Yeah.
Lautner would make a better Batman than Robert Pattinson would.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all have been so great. Well, I have one more just to finish off strong. Bradley Cooper or Hugh Jackman.
Huge Jackman
Like,
Those are some
huge
good,
Jackman.
or BC and his blue
good
eyes.
ones.
It's like the first time I heard the Beatles.
It looks like Zach Morris, man.
That's tough.
Which one are you going with? It's more bangable dude.
BC.
You do him in
You're
the
going
Cooper.
Bradley.
Right, it's Bradley Cooper.
Yeah, probably BC.
Hugh Jackman, I feel like would be like so loud in bed.
20.
Like he would just bring that like Wolverine and Broadway like
Yeah,
out in
he
bed
would
and just
be.
like. just
He's
like-
got range. He'd never be dull.
For 2019 bangability.
Like
for-
okay,
for
so out
sure.
of those, do you have any like top favorites?
No.
Sure don't.
On that note,
Can't say that I do. I do have an addition though before we go.
okay.
Would you care to
for
hear?
like rest of the decade?
Yeah. Would you care to hear some of the funniest words that were put into the dictionary this
Yeah,
decade?
The lexicon.
Oh yes.
Would you hear like
Let's hear some
There's been-
popular words that
right?
were
There's been some
dumb and made up
Let's
that
just-
got added to the dictionary this year.
Yeah, exactly. Let's finish on that note. This first one's pretty good. Tall boy made it into the dictionary
Tall boy.
Tall
like,
boy, like a beer?
Like a 22 ounce?
like a 22-ounce beer.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Okay.
That's what's up.
Well, usually 16 ounces, but 22 is the same. Like it's one of the two.
16's a tall boy?
But yeah, a lot of people
I
would
guess
consider
12
the
is
16.
12's normal. 16's
Yeah,
a
so
tall
16
boy.
is a tall boy.
Oh, yeah. 22.
sure.
Deuce.
The word meh made it into the dictionary.
Oh my gosh.
M-E-H.
It's a sound. It's not a word. Meh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it a sound or is it like a feeling or expression?
Essentially a verbal equivalent of shrugging.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Meh.
You know.
Twerking made it into the dictionary.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shaking them cheeks.
Yes.
man.
Webster has defined twerking as sexually suggestive dancing characterized by rapid, repeated hip thrust and shaking of the buttocks, especially while squatting.
That's nice.
I would definitely say that's the
Twerking.
definition of twerking.
I mean, that's how he described it. Bromance made it into the dictionary. Combination of bro and romance.
Yep.
Yeah.
Two dudes just like kicking it,
Right?
having like a good time.
For
That's
sure.
so
Doing-
funny. That's
Having
in
like
the
a
dictionary.
dude stuff.
romantic evening. Coot made it in.
Coot?
Coot
Like-
has two meanings: an aquatic
What does that
bird
mean?
and an eccentric old man, which is probably
Oh,
the
yeah,
more
like,
the way. Like
he's a
he's
coot.
an old coot.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's a new one for me.
Scrumdiddlyumptious
Come on.
put into the dictionary.
That's from like the 30s.
popularized by Charlie and the Chocolate
Yeah, I was gonna
Factory.
say Willy Wonka.
Yeah.
Added into the dictionary.
Huh?
Noob was added in.
Yeah.
Noob?
Yes.
Like you're like such a noob
Like-
around here.
like a
video
newbie?
game
a
term.
newbie, like newbie
Noob?
is shortened term.
Oh my
for
God,
like
I
new
love-
person.
Yeah.
That's
and
such a
newbie needed to be
crunchy-
shortened
Again
noob.
to
You're a
noob.
noob.
Such a noob.
Such a noob.
Oh my God.
Pony
I can't believe
noob.
these are actually in the dictionary.
Totes
Oh,
was in the
yeah.
dictionary.
Totes my goats.
Yep.
Turds.
That sounds so dumb
Totally.
if I said that.
Totes was added into the dictionary.
Totally.
It was definitely a thing though.
Hipsterism.
Hipsterism.
It's a hipsterism.
It's a way of life. Yeah. Cue the beards and
Okay.
craft brews.
Okay.
Anything artesian.
Beanie
Definitely
socks.
is all
Yeah.
hipster, but
Yeah.
okay. it's a
Anything in the
hipsterism.
culture or style of hipster or
Okay.
hipsters.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Basics.
Basics. Hangry.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Hangry.
definitely.
Our kid knows that word well.
Right?
That is
When you're so hungry, you're
hilarious.
angry.
Yeah.
I get
Like,
it.
For sure.
get it.
The fusion of hungry. Yeah, I get it. Schmooze fest. Made it in there. Take
Yeah.
These are all
schmoozing.
just like
I've been on a bunch of those this year.
Schmoozing, behaving in a charismatic way to gain professional or personal favors. Plop it in the middle of a formal event with lots of schmoozers.
Oh yeah.
Now
Right.
you have
Schmooze Fest.
a schmooze fest.
Oh,
Schmooze
we've
Fest
definitely
2019.
Yeah.
It always
we've
makes me think
definitely-
of snooze fest, but it's
No.
not. It's
No, no.
schmooze fest.
No,
like,
yeah.
totally different schmoozing.
Greasing
Totally
the
different.
wheels for a lot of
Yeah.
people at one time.
totally
Yeah.
different.
Lots of wheels, lots of
There's
grease.
difference.
Nothing burger has been
What the
added
hell?
to the dictionary.
What the hell's that mean?
First used by a 1950s gossip columnist named Lula Parsons, She used nothing burger in reference to minor celebrity she deemed unworthy of public attention. Essentially, a nothing burger is someone or something that has little significance or meat to them.
Okay.
Lame.
So they're just like calling you, they're just calling you lame.
This last one is
Nothing
lame.
burger.
Just like totally nothing burger.
This last one is the opposite of lame. It is badassery.
Badassery.
Now that's
I
a
don't
cool
hate
name
it.
to be put into
Yeah.
the dictionary.
Yeah, that's a pretty nice
still
word.
stupid. I can't believe that it's
Yeah,
in
these
the
are just,
English
like,
dictionary.
crazy.
Like badassery. Like no, it's a word. Look it
Oh.
up. It is.
Americana
Yeah, it
badassery.
is.
America. Badassery. This episode has been badassery.
It has been.
This has been another episode in the
for
last of
listening.
2019. Don't ever forget to live your crunchiest life.
And be crunchy to one another.
Please don't forget to subscribe, like, follow, and all that crunchy good shit. Thank you for listening.
Oh, but Bex, Diego, oh, Becky!
Yeah!